Alright, this is Mosk again, and these are my Juggernauts. I got these guys up to 25, and unfortunately I did enough biochem that they can't, I can't buy speeders. I'm close. So I just am going to do a quick little 10-minute intro on my Juggernauts, and I will tell you that I'm super happy with my Juggernauts. I'm even happier with my Juggernauts than I am with my Sorcerers. Despite the fact that they can't heal, they're really powerful. They kill stuff so fast, and they do really good AE damage, so they don't take a lot of incidental damage from mobs and stuff. So I'm gonna talk real quick about my talents and why I like the Juggernauts as a melee team, and then I'm gonna record me completing this quest in here. It's not a class quest. I'm not gonna run anything for you. And I'm going to do a bonus quest out here. So basically, out of the Vengeance tree and the Rage tree, I think either one is totally good for multi-boxing. But Vengeance is better early. The reason that you would want to go Rage, I think, as a multi-boxer is because you want to Obliterate. Obliterate, and then basically your smashes are always crits. So Impale is really good because it gives you a second charge. Now it only has a 10-meter range, but the knockbacks only knock you back about 8 or 9 meters. So as soon as somebody knocks you back, you can just Obliterate, and your 4 guys are going to leap back in there and get on top of them. But altogether, I've noticed while I'm grinding and doing quests, I don't really need the Obliterate. And this is more of a bursty tree. As you go up and you get these talents, like they buff a lot of your force abilities, and you don't really have a lot of those at a lower level. Like once you get to like 35 or something like that, I'm definitely going to swap to Rage tree. But for right now, we're Vengeance. So you can see that basically you've got a melee form once you get 11 points in. It's a Xian form, and the difference between being level 18, or I'm sorry, the difference between being level 19 and then being level 20 is insane. Like my DPS tripled when I hit 20 and I got Xian form. It was ridiculous, because before you have this, you're in I think it's called Shicho, and it's like 3% increased damage and then 3% decreased damage that you take. And then you swap to Xian form, you lose 3% damage reduction, but you get 3% base increased damage, and then all your abilities basically cost 1 less rage. And it's just the two completely separate worlds. Like I was 19 and I'm like, I don't know if I want to play these guys, they just don't do enough damage, yeah, I'll push it out for another level or two. And then I got Xian form, and then it was just like, this is the end of the world, these guys are so insane. So most of the stuff just boosts your damage. I mean, there's nothing unique. And basically, the reason I like the Juggernauts is the leap ability, the force charge. It's got a 15-second cooldown, but since it has a minimum range, you can put it on a spam bar, which is what you see here. So basically, when I hit my space bar, it does these abilities in preference. It tries to force charge, it tries to smash, it tries to force scream, and then it tries to vicious slash, it tries to Sun Ring Assault, and then if all of those are on cooldown or unusable, it'll try and do an assault. And like I said, with the force charge, the DPS is just, because you can just grind from mob to mob. You're just like, hey, I jump on top of you and kill stuff. Actually, I just picked up the talent that makes smash insta or free for cost. I might end up having to drop that, to be honest, because it tries to fire off instead of doing a leap. But anyways, so you can see the DPS is pretty good, and it's just a one-button spam. My guys just sit here and DPS on top of mobs, and that's that. Like, I mean, you don't, it's simple, it's a very simple rotation. You don't have to spend a lot of effort working on it, and then, you know, you only need like an extra ability for, like, say for instance here I've got Force Choke. Anyways, you know, I really like these guys. They just kind of burn through mobs. They do take a fair bit of damage, despite the fact that they're tanks. They don't have any of these tanking talents. They're solid. I'm gonna like them, or I like the idea of them in PvP a lot because of the fact that they, with the force charge, and later on they get. I mean, you have a snare now, but it's a little more difficult to use. Like I didn't just throw it in the rotation. It's going to be hard to keep 4 Juggernauts off you, because you're going to knock them back, and they're going to force sleep, or they're going to impale back on top of you. And their DPS, once you get to 15 geared, is pretty good. The burst is pretty high. It's the highest in the game if you go here with Rage. It's even worse than operatives. They just can't do it while you're stunned, or like they can't stun you and then do it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with these guys. They're strong, and I love the way that they look. You know, I love these half helms, and I love the facial tattoos that they get. It's just aesthetically, I think I like the way that the Juggernauts look the most. So, like I said, super pleased. I mean, I don't have any really tips. One of the big pros of these guys is you don't have a lot of abilities that you have to manually control. I mean, I manually control Ravage for elites because it does do a lot of damage. I manually control Enrage, which just builds rage, and I manually control Force Choke. But you know, once I even get 31 points in either of these trees, the only thing I manually gonna control is Obliterate and Snare, maybe. But their snare's on a cooldown, so it works perfectly. Like, all of this stuff is cooldown based. All the stuff that uses rage and all the stuff that builds rage is not cooldown based. Well, this one is, so it's like it'll always use the cooldown abilities, and then it'll go to the stuff that builds rage. So basically these guys are designed perfectly for the popsicle method. Yeah. I'm really excited about the operatives. I'm gonna record the video a little bit later today. It's gonna take a bit to get up, but yeah, operatives too seem really powerful to me as a melee team. So I'm just gonna record until my timer goes off, so you guys can kind of see what it's like, and then I'll get this compressed and get it uploaded. So, you know, like I said, you know, you guys feel free to you know, talk to me in game or on the forums. You know, I would prefer to talk via Skype if you know you want help walking through something, because I can't really play while I'm chatting, especially multi-boxing. So just keep that in mind. Alright, well, like I said, thanks for watching. I appreciate all the views, and feel free to leave feedback.